Hello, my name is Ava Mateen, and today I will be talking about Syria, a cradle of civilization. I do want to preface by saying I am in Syria right now, and the electricity just cut off, so I have a flashlight, but that's not going to stop me from submitting this assignment. Anyways, so in this presentation, I will be discussing Syria's history, its culture, and historical significance. And specifically, I'll be covering the main three topics, which is its ancient history, its culture, and its famous historical landmarks. So first off, where is Syria? Now, Syria is located in the Middle East, and its capital city is Damascus, and it shares borders with the countries Turkey, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and Israel. And the official spoken language is Arabic. Now, you might be wondering, for me, I was very curious before I came to Syria myself. You would be surprised how many people are Syrian, half Turk, Syrian, half Iraq, Syrian, half Jordanian, or Lebanese. There's such a wide population of the bordered countries that live in Syria, and a lot of them are actually mixed with a Syrian mix. It's really, really fascinating. It's really cool. But yeah, so the official language that's spoken amongst Syrians is Arabic and French. And I did not mention this on my presentation, but another language that I have come to realize is very well spoken is Kurdish. And I'm so sorry, I actually went over this today with my family. The Kurdish that they speak is Kurmanji Kurdish, that's what it's called. Apparently Kurds have different dialects, and Kurmanji is what's spoken amongst Syrian people because there is an area in Syria where a big population of Kurdish people live. And I didn't really have much knowledge on Kurdish people until I did my research while I was in Old Damascus. So let's talk and take a look at Syria's ancient history. So Syria is home to one of the oldest civilizations, including the Ebla and the Ugarit, and it was an important center for ancient trade routes, and it's known for its contributions to some of the earliest writing systems. Before Arabic, French, and Kurdish were the top three main spoken languages in Syria. Back then, from what I know, Aramaic was one of the like very spoken languages. Sorry, I'm stuttering a lot. I'm just I'm all over the place right now. So next up is Syria's writing culture. One of the strongest parts of Syrian identity is the Syrian language. Now, if you know, there's a population of Syrians that are half Kurdish. I actually don't want to go too much into it because I am a little uneducated on the whole Kurdish and Kurmanji and Kurdistan idea and topic, and I know it goes deep into politics, and I am here to talk about Syria, but I do know that there is a big part of Kurdish people who speak with the Kurds that speak Kurdish. And when I was in Old Damascus, I actually did ask around about them. I went to this library, and it was right near Al Hamadiyya, and basically I asked the librarian, who actually so happened to speak French as well, and I was asking him, I was like, hey, can you tell me more about Syria's? For me, I find it really fascinating when it comes to the languages, because when you look at Kurdish, when you look at French or Arabic or all these older languages, you'll come to see that there's a lot of words that are passed down, and to me that's very fascinating, especially when it's with other countries like Arabic and Spanish, for example. So to them, the Arabs in Syria, not the Kurds, not any other I want to say race because I feel like that's appropriate. Only Syrians, they take pride in their Arabic language. They like to hold on to it because after the French invasion, the French language just became I guess like the next language for them. And you'd be surprised how many people speak French but they don't speak Arabic in the country. So Arabs in Syria, they like to take pride with the Arabic language and something they hold on to. Some other things that they like to I was like strong things about the Syrian culture is the food. For me, I'm gonna be honest, I was not a big fan of the food, but when you take a look deeper into Syria, you realize that a lot of their food is passed down wherever you go, wherever part in the world, especially in Europe. They have a lot of Syrian franchises and Syrian restaurants where they pass down Syrian foods like kibbeh. My mom is actually really known for making kibbeh in Orlando. Everyone loves her kibbeh. They have something called muhammada. I actually tried that for the first time a week ago. Not my favorite, but I will say it was something to remember. Muhammada, you eat it with bread, and it's actually really, really like, so it's something that they eat all the time. Like muhammada is something that they have for breakfast all the time. Um, and hummus is very, very big. They have this salad called tabbouleh. Tabbouleh is also a very popular Syrian salad. It's a controversy online about whether it's Syrian or Lebanese, and it's actually Syrian. Um, what else? They have the music. The Syrian music is amazing. Their literature is amazing. I honestly, I have no interest, and this is not, I should not be saying this. I have no interest towards Arabic books. I don't like them. I've read a lot of Arabic books growing up. I don't like them. French books. But the Syrian literature, when I would read poems, they have a bunch of writings all over Old Damascus, especially in Hamadiyya, and I would read it. You would fall in love. Like, you would get goosebumps. It's so beautiful. Um, sorry. Next up is hospitality. Hospitality is it's part of their everyday life in Syria, and I didn't think it was true until I actually visited Syria. It's a real thing. But the Syrian culture has developed over it's developed for over thousands of years, and if you visit Syria, you'll notice that the culture from years ago, from what it was way back when, is still the same as, like, there's a lot of stuff that's been passed down. If you look at other countries, I feel like you can't really say the same. I like to compare it to the West because I live in America and I live in Florida. If you look back at the US as like old, like thousands of years ago, a lot of things are not really passed down. America doesn't really have like a big culture scene the way Syria does, but there are a lot of things that just were never passed down the same way. So you'll realize that a lot of things were passed down from thousands of years ago, and it's really nice that generations still keep it together and keep firm with their culture and their traditions years and years later. So now let's talk about some serious historical landmarks. I actually got to visit a lot of these myself, including the ancient city of Damascus, which I've talked about, near the Hamadiyya, which is what they call in Arabic the old Sham al-Adima. They call it Sham al-Adima. So I actually had the opportunity to visit it myself, and I actually did get to visit Zahir al-Adima, Hamadiyya al-Adima, and Sham al-Adima. Adima basically just means ancient or old, and I love how Syria never really, I want to say, rebranded. Like, after everything, after the French invasion, they still have certain places like Sham al-Adima, old Damascus, or ancient Damascus, or ancient Hamadiyya, or ancient Zahran. These places, they don't just turn it into one new one. They keep it ancient, and actually a lot of people there live by the book. Like, they live like as if it's like a million years old, like a million years ago. And it's really nice, and I actually got to sit down and sit in one of these homes, and let me tell you guys, it's way different than the average life that we have in America. They have the Palmyra and the Aleppo Citadel and the Karak Jis Chavez, and many of these sites are recognized as part of the World Heritage Sites because of their historical culture and just cultural importance overall. So why does Syria matter today? So first off, Syria has a incredibly rich history that spans over thousands of years old. It has experienced many important historical events that shaped the region to what it is today, like the French invasion and the fall of Bashar al-Assad. I don't really like to get into politics, but I will say, after coming here, and I actually did get to visit the Sednaya prison myself, and it is only open for tourists, so I was lucky to get in with my American passport. But when you see like how much these people suffered back during the regime, you can see why Syria is shaped the way it is. Syria has a lot of things. When you go around Syria, you see so much in connection to the fall of Assad. When Assad was in, like, I feel like this is very important to mention, because when Assad was president, he was a dictator. So the country was living under like a 1, 2, 3 kind of rule, like this, that, and the third, and that's it. So once the fall of Assad, like the Assad regime fell, and the new president Ahmed al-Sharaa came in, a lot of these people have like free lives. Like Syria is free, and like I feel like that's what makes Syria so beautiful, is that. And honestly, I'm getting goosebumps and I'm starting to tear up, because when you see what these people have been through, the torture of these poor innocent Syrians, like you would see this and you'd be like, you'd never believe that like a dictator, a president could do this to his own citizens, his own people. But it's true, and it happened. And now that Syria is a free country, it's shaped people and it's shaped the country to a free country, and it makes Syria the way it is today. I'm telling you, if I'd come to visit Syria prior, I was here in Syria during the 2011 war, and I had to leave abruptly because of the Assad regime. And it's not safe. It was never a safe country, and it was never safe for the citizens to express their thoughts and their feelings and whatever it was. If you see why the Assad regime started, it was all because of little kids. Because kids decided to share their opinion on the current president. The president didn't like it, and that was the start to tortures of millions of people were tortured. So yeah, Syria is definitely shaped after the Assad regime fell, and I'm honestly happy to have the experience to come and see Syria after the great fall of Bashar al-Assad. And second of all, Syria culture has spread around the entire world. So during the French invasion and while Bashar al-Assad was still president, a lot of people would flee the country. It was kind of the same thing during the French invasion and during Bashar al-Assad's time. During Bashar al-Assad, from what I was told, he would actually like target people and family members. So a lot of these people had no other option but to flee, and a lot of these people fled to countries like Venezuela and Argentina. Argentina and Venezuela are two of the biggest known countries that hold a big Syrian population. And to me, those are the two fascinating. But from what I know, and when I asked and when I was speaking to the librarian who was telling me more about this, I was actually told that a lot of them moved to Sweden. They moved to Germany, and there's actually a very big population of Syrians that live in Germany. And Germany is actually it's like a very big spoken language amongst Syrians, but I don't speak German. But a lot of people, I say Venezuela and Argentina mainly, because in Venezuela and Argentina, the cultures were passed down, and it actually ended up shaping their cultures and some of their traditions as well. And if you, like when I was in Old Damascus, I ran into a lot of people that were Venezuelan and that had come from Argentina, and they actually lived there. And it was really cool, and to me, I find that just to be very fascinating. And then finally, Syria's historical cities continue to help historians understand ancient civilization, and making it it's just important to them to preserve their culture overall for future generations, and I think that's just beautiful. So in conclusion, although people may recognize Syria to be how it is, I want to say because of, I guess, the travel ban in the US, or because of the fall of the Assad regime. Some people are not a fan of the new president, maybe the French invasion. All of these things, people may see Syria as one thing, but I promise you, when you come and you see Syria, or when you just take a look and understand and appreciate Syria for what it is, you will see that the history of it goes way back thousands of years. And its ancient civilization and rich culture and remarkable historical landmarks continue to influence our understanding of human civilization till this day. And so for my references, I just want to add, I did use 3 published sites from the Valencia ebook library, from the ebook that I found on Valencia's library, along with additional information that I was able to get, thankfully, through Old Damascus when I was in Shaman Adime, from a librarian who was more than happy to tell me about all of this. And I spoke to my family as well, because I wanted to know a little bit more about Syria's ancient civilization and how they lived back then. And I'm telling you, you would be surprised. And the way these people still live today is actually fascinating, and it is very, very shocking. Oh,